Hello. I have watched the interview that Apple has released, and they call it launch because obviously it's an interview with a monologue. Um, they have created the new screen. The screen is based on LTDs, like this thing. I designed the technology a couple of years ago, and no one used it, but and I sent letters for a very long time to Apple and they didn't do anything. And finally, they realized it's time to talk about it and they hired me because based on my Twitter account and my Instagram. Um, I don't know. I think it's funny that the creator of Apple, the owner of Apple, hasn't never been invented to the presentation. The wife for him and his kids. And I don't know if I meet him or not because I meet a guy who looked like him and he didn't tell me that he wanted to. We talked for a while about Apple, about everything, and he once told me that he will never leave to his son and blah blah blah. And I tell him that he has to record his life in a video or something, and he decided to do a book that is obviously something different because a book you can read it through, you can listen to because he wanted to be able to listen to it, but it's very hard reading a book when you it's about your family. And he decided to release with audiobook. um I have read the book. The audiobook is really good. um I Cancer is proof that is produced by radio waves, and the signal, the meters that it produces, its terminal, it can be measured and destroy the signals that produce cancer. And this is why I believe, um I don't know, I have a Mac for not so long. My first Mac was this thing, and I had it for a very long time. It was a three generation phone, and it was an iPod. And the thing I love about iPod is that you press the button home, and it goes into immediately to the home. And I have a conversation with a guy online, and basically it was a person who was trying to hire me, and he was doing an interview, and we were talking about life basically because life is work and work is life. I don't think there is a separation between life and work, and the things you do in life makes you decide things in work, and the other way around. If you have a bad life, you will gonna have a bad work, and the opposite way around. And Steve Jobs didn't believe that. He believes that work will make him famous and will make him important, and life will be less important. And I I told him several times to stop doing that and take attention to his kids, and especially the kid who is was worried more. That is the one he has with mm, Paul, the one who married. I think is Pauline or something like that. Um, I don't think she's gonna watch that because she obviously uh, doesn't know me, or maybe she does know me. I don't know. And I think I could be a good influence for his kid, and I can talk with him about life, about. Um, I offer basically my support and basically a conversation. I don't know if he don't want to touch a Mac or a computer. Like, I don't want to read a book called um, "Life of a Woman Who Is Called Anna Frank," and I think it's my grandma, even though she didn't tell me any time that she was my grandma. But when you analyze the book, analyze what she talks about, is same history. And my blog doesn't have that many views, and I I try to find the conclusion to everything, like destroying car pollution, finding who is God, trying to create a new computer, trying to create a hard disk not that is magnetical. Not the trick is the amount of disk you put in. And I don't know, my life is not very easy because my parents aren't very supportive of my lifestyle, which is having a blog and having a personal life. And they believe normal life and conventional life, as people like to call it, with with not having friends, which is my case, and not having support from my friends. Even though I have a friend who comes every week and we watch a movie for obviously in Spanish because she doesn't talk English. And um, I don't know, I'm gonna watch a movie in Italian, or what I believe is Italian. I don't know what language it is, but it's Italian I talk. And I had a boyfriend, and well, I have several boyfriends, and now no one has the balls to tell me that Michael Wars with love and I want to be with you. And I think that moment of life have appeared to me. I have found a job that is pretty responsible and will last for a very long time, which is creating Macs, and I have plenty of ideas. I believe that one day ideas of Macs will eventually disappear and innovation will disappear, and Mac will be the last and definitely least Mac, because I remember using the PCs at my school for doing a program called SketchUp, and it didn't work really well. And I bought my first PC computer. I wanted to buy a Mac, and I didn't buy it because it was more expensive. It was actually twice expensive than a normal computer. And I buy a very high specification computer with a very, very, very good graphical card that is as good as this one. And the funny part is that the at the beginning the Macs and my old computer was the same, but once they released the recoding of graphical interface, um, my 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 developing in techniques of drawing with SketchUp, which is a 3D um, architectural program that I use for basically designing things, and that I never get paid for. And I have worked for IKEA and they never pay me. I have worked for Apple and they are starting to pay me. They have paid me 100 euros, which is the entry income or something like that, or to prove that I have money in my bank account. Um, I don't know. I think I have a house, and maybe it's not a conventional house because I did buy a house that maybe I'm gonna regret living in, and people say me so, and I have to buy a conventional house, and I don't know if it will happen like Jimmy 00 that ends buying a very gory house and that he doesn't want to live in, but he has to leave because he doesn't have income from YouTube, who doesn't pay the workers. Mm. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I have cancer or if I have insects taking my blood. And my final conclusion is that I have insects. And I don't know if cancer is produced by insects or is produced by radio waves or whatever. Um, the truth is that insects um, create a pollution from like a small spot that is. I can show you. Oh, I can't. That looks like a spot, and it has a thing, and sometimes it becomes white, and it's from an animal who is called in Spanish. Um, well, it eats blood, and it has to do with dogs and cats. And dogs and cats didn't have this cleaning product for removing them, and this is why dogs and cats had this issue. Um, I don't know what to say or what not to say, but the truth is that I don't have um, a supporting boyfriend, and the case is that he doesn't want to get involved in my life. He there are people. There have been boyfriends and girlfriends in my life, and mostly boyfriends because I'm more gay than straight. And I don't know if I have reached the point where I will have a boyfriend that I can rely on, and maybe later on we can marry because he wanted that way, and because everyone believes that love is not important, and I believe love is very important because it's key for having or a sexual life like people always believe, or having a mature conversation and healthy conversation with someone that is like a friend or even more, and that stays for a very long time. And um, I don't know what's gonna happen in my life because I don't know if I will work at both companies. I will work here. I will work there. Um, I wanna have life. I wanna have life, and that's definitely have to do with work. And because we live in a society with this capitalism. For finding moral support, you have to have a work, and it's sad, but it's like that. And that boyfriend has to face his fears and accept that I love him and he loves me and he wants to live with me, and that flowers will will ultimately melt or will damage. But I don't know. I think it's sarcastic that you give me this because I have this thing and it's the final thing for you to say that you love me forever. But it's a very simple way of doing it, and a simple way of cheating yourself with the lie that you're not the right person or you haven't arrived to the point where you wanna be. Life is a path and people are in different points, and your point is right for you, and you will find that it will be your case, and maybe you can change forward or forward or backwards, but you have to think that that path is yours and you decide who you want to go, but life sometimes make you decide something in a different way, and it's very hard changing that. And because I have people have died in my family, and I think mm, I don't know, maybe I should go live and talk with people, but who I will talk with, because no one watches apparently this blog, but some people watch it and some people don't. And the influence in cultural Gijón is big, and I don't know. I think computers won't change our life, but it will make it easier. So let's say goodbye, and let's say see you later.